What's up, y'all? This is Paul from Ring Dragon. I want to rap a little bit, and look, I think off the jump, some of y'all gonna get in your feelings about it. It's cool. It's cool. Woosah. It's gonna be okay. But I do want to talk to us, y'all. Have a conversation about our responsibility and our obligation as fans of boxing. I mean, we say we're fans of boxing, right? That's what we say. We tell each other that. We come online and we participate on the forums and the boards and all that. So we like boxing, right? That's what we say. So, what are our obligations? What are our responsibilities? Do we have any? Are there any? Do we owe the sport anything? That's a couple of things just to mill around for yourself. First of all, if you don't feel like you owe the sport anything, cool. Such is your right. Cool. But then should the sport owe you anything? Oh, it's business. They make their money. Okay, all right. But you kind of remove your ability to really have a lot of, I don't know. I mean, do you get to critique anything? What stake do you have if you're not invested in any way, shape, or form? I'm just curious, man. Like, see, for myself, I do feel like I get to say some things. You know why I say some things? You know why I get to say some things? Because I have followed this sport since the 80s. I'll be 49 this summer. You know what I'm saying? So I watched this sport closely. And certainly since Mike Tyson, certainly since 88, I've been on it. I barely missed anything of significance since then. You know what I'm saying? I buy the pay-per-views. I even used to buy them Cedric Kushner heavyweight explosion cards. So you don't holler at me. Don't come at me about whether I'm a fan or not. I've had a Ring magazine subscription till literally like last year. I'm talking about the physical magazine. But where am I? There used to be a pile right there. I've gone to live shows. I've gone to smaller club shows. I did some boxing myself. I buy the pay-per-view. Like I said, I participate and I support. Been to press conferences, you know what I'm saying? I do what my money can do, I do. So I get to talk about the things that I participate in and that I put my heart or money on for years. Thrown fight parties. I've been on the message boards, and then I've even written a couple of articles. Like I've been involved, I've been entrenched, I've been immersed in the world of boxing for a very long time. So I personally feel like I've paid dues enough that I have a couple of things that I need to be able to say, and it's cool. So it's weird, like, you know, you get to be older and you got a couple of things. I'm scratching my back, y'all. You see generational changes and things with everything. I don't care if it's fashion, it's music, all across the board, society and culture and things progress, right? So I see now, like, there are some things that I find weird and strange. Me personally. So maybe they aren't. Maybe I'm just some old curmudgeon and I don't, you know, I'm out of tune with what's going on. That could be. That's possible. That could be. I don't really find that things like integrity and honor go out of date. You're either that kind of person or you're not. That's how I feel. But, you know, hey, maybe the old man's wrong. But I see a whole lot of y'all online that profess to be fans of boxing. I see a lot of y'all spend time arguing as to why fights should not happen. Why some of the potentially biggest, and potentially most exciting fights shouldn't happen. And I don't understand that weird behavior. I don't understand. Look, I do understand falling in love with fighters. You know, now some of you young Bammers might be, oh, pause. I don't do all that. You know what the hell I'm saying. All right. In terms of really, really liking a particular fighter or fighters to the point that you are more than just your run-of-the-mill fan, I get that. When you are around this sport long enough, though, you stop doing that. I think my last big boxing love affair was probably Zab Judah. I was a huge Zab Judah fan. Y'all can say what you want. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Like who you like. All right? But that was my dude. I remember from the ESPN2 days and all that. I mean, I'm watching Zab's rise. I watched the rise and the fall. And I've done the rise and fall with many fighters throughout the course of my life, man. Like Mike Tyson was probably my hugest boxing love affair. And, you know, he came along at a time when I was like, you know, in junior high. Like that's I go back to that. Like it's middle school these days. But in junior high school, Mike Tyson was like a comic book character come to life. It was real. This ain't the WWE. And now that I say that, I think a lot of you dudes watch boxing as though it's professional wrestling. And you just want to come to the arena and watch your guy go against Barry. Oh, like you don't really want to watch a contested, highly contested boxing match with your favorite guy, You don't want that to happen, because when that happens, you stand the chance of having to endure the sports hangover of your favorite guy losing. Listen to me. That is part of what this is. If you don't like the idea of your favorite guy, I wish I could poke you in your forehead, your favorite guy losing, this ain't the sport for you, sir. Man, brosif, this is not for you. Let's take Spence Crawford, for example. For me personally, very big Errol Spence fan. There was never a moment in time I didn't want the fight, because it's the best fight in my favorite division, involving one of my favorite fighters and a generational great. Why would I, as a fan of boxing, ever have bet against that? Ever. I got my pay-per-view money ready, Bama. I'm throwing the good fight party. We gonna have the wings. We gonna get hip hop chicken and fish. Like, yo, let's get it. Let's get it. Some of y'all, I'm gonna call out right now, and you can feel how you want. You can call it what you want. You can say what you want. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change my truth. It's just gonna be, you do what you do. You're free. You're free to talk. But as it comes to Canelo and Crawford specifically, a lot of y'all are exhibiting behavior to me that seems weird. Why do we excuse lower quality matchmaking simply because we like a particular fighter or fighters? Why do we explain away, oh, what has he done? What has he done? Man, listen, if every top fighter operated that way, Canelo would have never got a shot at Floyd. It doesn't make sense what you're talking about. Guys like Cotto and Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather, they lended their name to Canelo's rise. What if they was like, oh, who'd you fight? What'd you do? Then, I mean, it doesn't make sense, y'all. The sport has to perpetuate. The sport has to continue. So if the sport has to continue, then we have to give the next generation the shot. The shot. You get the opportunity to turn that young man away by beating them. That's how this works. Boxing is like, I don't know if y'all used to play this when y'all were little, because I don't know, a lot of stuff doesn't go down no more. Like, I don't think y'all young dudes don't seem to slap box or you know what I'm saying, go to the body. I don't know if y'all played King of the Hill. But the way the game King of the Hill goes is there's a group of kids wrestling, fighting to get to the top of the hill. one kid emerges at the top of the hill and he is or she is the king of the hill. There is a continuous flow of challengers to take the rule of the hill. And it doesn't stop at all. It keeps going. So you don't get to just be like, I'm undisputed. And that's this in both of these cases, both Crawford and Canelo. And I don't care about these belt strippings right now. What I'm saying is they've established themselves. They've got all the infinity stones, you know what I'm saying? We know that they collected all the belts. You don't then just get to go on a tour and the whole sport of boxing stops. That's not how it works. Just because you have a Love Jones for somebody doesn't mean the sport stops. You can call me a hater if you want to. I don't think it couldn't be further from the truth. I support and love boxing. I even buy and have bought pay-per-views of fighters that I didn't really like. They were the rivals to guys that I did like, but I like boxing. I was a big De La Hoya fan. It seems a little embarrassing to say it now, but at the time, I was a big Oscar fan. You think I dumped on Tito Trinidad because of that? I bought Tito fights because Tito was good. I wasn't a fan, but he's good. I want to see good fights. It's important to me. I didn't like Evander Holyfield because I was a big Mike Tyson guy. Do you think I did not watch Evander Holyfield fight? Do you think I did not support his events? Do you think I didn't want him and Mike to fight? That's how some of y'all sound so weird when you're trying to excuse and you're making up these storylines as to why good fights should not happen. First of all, it makes me think you have no confidence in your man. That's the first part. Second, the reason we have fights is to see what happens, to watch and see the way the story unfolds. We don't all know what's going to happen. We think we know what's going to happen, but very often what we think we know does not happen in the ring. That's not what transpires. And even if it is, it's a matter of watching how it unfolds. So, and on some of those nights, you get to be 100% right. If you was totally right, Canelo would wash Benavidez. Who is he? What to get the best? Hey, we do fights for a reason. Let them climb into the same ring at the same time on the same night at the same weight class, and let's find out. And guess what, Slim? You get to be right if you're right. You get to walk around and say, I told y'all so. I don't know why y'all don't listen to me. I got him the boxing prognosticator. I get it all right. But very often we get them wrong. That's why we do it. It's not the WWE. It's not per script. Now, there's some corruption. That's a different video. But the purpose of hosting and having the fights is to watch what transpires in the ring. As it pertains to the Boots Ennis situation with Crawford. Listen, I've heard a lot of weird, janky stuff, right? One of them is, and this one's particularly telling. Oh man, y'all just want to see Crawford lose. Are you telling me that he can't beat Boots? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I am saying welterweight has been my favorite division for almost the entire time that I've watched boxing. And it's just historically a great division. You get the combination of speed and skill and power. You get it all at a high level. So it's my favorite. And it's always, because of the size of men and the average size of men worldwide, there's always talent in that division. In that division or right around that division. So you're going to get guys moving up. There's always talent, right? So I want to see Crawford fight versus Ennis because both of those dudes are immensely talented fighters. Clearly. That's clear. Don't be like, this one Bama today. It's like, Boots has only fought midgets and dishwashers. Like, why do you watch? First of all, All them midgets and dishwashers would beat you into pudding, sir. They would beat you into oblivion. They would concuss you 10 times out of 10. So I don't even know how you have the as my mother would have called, the unmitigated gall to say anything about anybody, any of these professional fighters, as if they wouldn't beat you like you stole something. So put a little respect on their name. They bums. You don't never hear me say that. I've laced up. I've done some sparring. I've done some competition as far as martial arts and stuff is concerned. I'm not comparing myself to these world elite athletes, but at least I know what it's like to train and to fight and to compete. I know what that is. Some of you Bammers, come on. I ain't even gonna go in on you like that, but some of y'all need to really pump your brakes and put some respect on these fighters' names. Anyways, from the eye test, Boots appears to be a very talented man. And Crawford has absolutely earned the right to make a decision here. If he does not want to compete at 147 pounds moving forward, I'm totally cool with that. I get it. If that's the case, then Crawford should permanently move up to 154 after the Spence rematch, which he's contractually obligated to take, by the way. And then the Boots fight doesn't happen because he's no longer competing in that weight class. That's fine. What I'm saying is, if he is going to still campaign at welterweight, there is no better challenger than Jaron Boots Ennis. That's obvious. That's clear. It's without argument. Don't even come at me with no Virgil Ortiz, because he's had a lot of health problems and he can't make 147 no more. All right, so stop. The best fight at welterweight is Crawford versus Ennis. That's obvious. That's not an arguable point, guys. It's just not. I have no problem with it not happening if Bud's gonna move up, he's gonna move up. He's already done what he gotta do at welterweight, and if he doesn't want to defend the undisputed title, he's earned that. And I'm cool with that. I'm good with it. But then the next logical step is Jermell Charlo, which he says he doesn't want to fight now because of what happened with Canelo, which doesn't really make sense to me personally, but whatever. There's Tim Tszyu. That's the direction you got to go, but we got to stop arguing down potentially great fights. It doesn't make sense that you would be cool with a David Avanesian fight, but not a Boots Ennis fight. It doesn't make sense. Even from a consumer's point of view, it doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, you want to control the storyline and you don't want any potential for a Crawford loss or Crawford not to look good. And if that's the case, like I said, I think you're watching the wrong sport. So that's point number one. Point two, and then I'll close the show because I got some stuff to do, right? Our second obligation as fans of this sport, and this is, again, all of this is my opinion. You do whatever you got to do. I mean, we like 18 minutes in. If you're still here, then I assume that you love the sport and you want to let's wrap, right? What has happened to Showtime, in my opinion, is very much lays at the feet of the mooches that keep stealing and illegally streaming fights. You don't really support the sport. So why do you come online and have so much to say and you don't support the sport? Part of why boxing is struggling is some of you deadbeat mooch. I want to say more. You know what I mean? Like, you mooch. You take and you don't give. Bruh, I'm going to say this to you because you're a deadbeat. I don't illegally stream fights. I don't do that. This is a sport that I love and I'm going to support and I'm going to participate and I'm going to pay. Because I want to see it and I want to perpetuate its existence so I can continue to see it. So my kids can see it and so my grandkids can see it. And their kids can see it. I want boxing to exist. It's selfish as hell to steal the life efforts of these guys, literally putting their mortality on the line. This is the deadliest sport on earth without question. More people have died doing this than any major sport. It's just true. And you have the gall to steal it. And then you get online and flap your gums about who's ducking who and who's got exposed. You are exposed. Deadbeat, you're exposed. You are cheap. You are selfish and you are opportunistic. You have been exposed. Think about that, man. I've heard Bama's, oh man, I got this, that, and the third. Listen, if you got bills and all that, and you still want to see the fights, go to a local spot that's showing it. You don't have to pay the whole $79 or $69, whatever they're charging for the pay-per-view. Have some of your homeboys come over and split the cost. There's a way. Work some overtime, give some blood or some sperm, Bama. If you struggling like that, start collecting some bottles and cans and recycle them joints. Do something. These fighters are putting their life on the line. They're training for 3-4 months at a time, getting broken orbital bones and concussions, stitches and broken ribs. And I can't pay for the pay-per-view. Man, how about you stop eating all them Takis? How about you put that down? I mean, some of your Taco Bell money, how about you put that to the side? I mean, it's just trifling. You cannot profess to be a fan of this sport and be a deadbeat, cheap Bama who don't put nothing in. No work, no nothing. Cheap. And some of y'all get online and you're proud of your indignance and your selfishness. You're proud of your predatory behavior. You're proud of being a mooch and a deadbeat. And that's gross. I don't even know how your normal, regular life goes. Some of the situations you're in, you probably deserve that because you have created that situation by having no moral compass and no integrity and no honor. This is how you are. This is how you are. So, you reap what you sow. But I'm saying to real boxing fans, you got to consider our role and our responsibility in making this sport what it is. We have to demand these potentially great fights and just doing what's right, man. Your guy, poke you on the forehead again, your favorite guy, they gonna be all right, Slim. They're millionaires. They're gonna be all right. In all likelihood, they're gonna be all right. We cannot be scared to have our guy get in there with a guy that has the potential to unseat them. That's what the sport is about. It's king of the hill. And nobody stays king forever. That's the way it goes, y'all. That's what it is, y'all. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop dancing around playing matchmaker so that your guy can go on to be whatever forever and ever. Cut it out, man. Let's watch the best fights and let's enjoy them. Let's have those evenings where you see a trilogy like Morales and Barrera. Let's see the Gotti Wards. Let's see Bo and Holyfield. Let's see these. You act like you want it, but you don't. Because some of y'all take this stuff so personal that you swear, God, if your guy loses, it's like you lose. And sports be like that sometimes. I get it. But it's not factually true. Use your mind. You still got to go to work tomorrow or that Monday. Your girl still feels how she feels about you. You know what I'm saying? Your kids still need new shoes. Everything else about your life goes on. Grocery prices still high around your way because they're high everywhere. So why not, if we profess to be fans of this sport, put it on the line? It pains me to even say we put it on the line. The fighters put it on the line. You ain't putting nothing up but some pay-per-view dollars. And like I said, some of y'all too cheap for that. You're part of the problem. I hope it strikes a chord in some of y'all because you are part of the problem. We are here for the fights, not for your idol worship. We're not here for you to be an acolyte and a zealot of fighters. We're here for the fights. Boxing over boxers, y'all. Anyway, it's a long video. I just had to get it off my chest because some of y'all are crazy with it, man. So I appreciate the real boxing fans. Saturday, we got something nice coming up with Benavidez versus Andre. Fighters doing what fighters are supposed to do, taking on some of the best. This is going to be fun. Leave me some comments. Unless you're going to be, if you're going to be like, honestly, if you're just too immature to have an actual discussion, I don't care. You don't have to agree with me. But if you want to come on, be a turd, just keep that to yourself and keep it pushing, man. Kick rocks barefoot. I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for that. I want to talk to adults or somebody that at least can behave somewhat like an adult and have a mature discussion about boxing. If you're not there for that, I'm not there for you. All right? But I'll holler at y'all, man. All right? Peace.